She is a student of UNEC as well. She's a 400 level student. She's a development enthusiast and is enthusiastic about community building and volunteering. She would teach us about the importance of being in a community. Can we welcome Becca Ndukwe?
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Okay, so first off, I want to thank JCK. Like I would call him Bosch J, because if I'm speaking about my development as a creative, as a public speaker, basically, he has played a major role. So thank you, sir, for the platform. So this afternoon, I'm just going to talk about the importance of community, right? We've heard a lot of wonderful things, and just like a seed, it has been sown in our hearts, right? But for it to grow, we need to create a very sane and good environment for it. And that is what community does for you. You can't hear how to invest financially, and then you are still in a place where you are spending recklessly without people to hold you accountable to. You can't learn how to want to scale up as a tech person, and then you are still in a place where you don't even know where to start or how to start from. I know we are in a society today where you can say, oh, okay, I can learn it by myself, but nobody is an island. Nobody is an island. No matter how good you are, no matter how wonderful you are, nobody is an island. And so you would always need a community. You'd always need a group of people who are headed in the same path as you are, with the same purpose as you are. You cannot be a writer and then go to a community of chefs. What are you looking for there? Neither can you be someone who is enthusiastic about growth development and then you're with a community of people who just like to be by themselves. Like, it's not tallyable. So as young women, I know most of us are actually students or just young graduates or basically young women who are still growing in their spheres and in their lives. And in these various spheres, either as a student, a young tech person, or just a young lady who's trying to scale up, even as a married woman, even as a career person, you need different communities to suit these different parts of your life, so that in these different places you are exposed to people who are in the same path as you are, and then not just in the same path as you are, but you people have the same purpose. So if one person is lagging behind, you can be sure that there's someone else who is around you that would drag you up. I personally am a product of community. Everything you see about me today is a product of one community or the other that I belong to. Even as a student, I cannot say that I have excelled as a student without my community of friends, without the community of mentors from my department. As a creative, I cannot say I have excelled as a creative without the community of creatives I belong to. Even as a young woman with purpose, we have heard different things about finding purpose, and then Ma Vivian spoke about the whole purpose and how you can find purpose. So now, as a young person who is looking to find her purpose, you cannot find your purpose and or be looking to find your purpose by yourself. You would need a group of people who are also on that path of purpose. If you've been called to be a minister, if you've been called to, and not, by minister, I don't mean, oh, you have to carry the mic and carry the Bible and, preach. You can be a minister of charity. Charity in the sense of good works, in the sense of giving back to the society. I really love what we did earlier this year, the part the girl outreach we had in a secondary school, because it's something I really am passionate about. But obviously, I cannot fund it by myself yet, or I cannot have the access to those schools by myself yet. But then this platform gave me an opportunity to do what I wanted to do without having to go through the hassles of, okay, I have to go through a school and then write a letter and all of that. And in the process of that community, you find a space to grow. You find a space to get better. You want to get better and you don't know how to get better. like our last speaker said, volunteer. Volunteer. Just, you don't know how to do it, but you want to do it. Just put yourself out there. Trust me, if you are willing to learn, you would always find someone who is willing to teach you. And a teacher would pay more attention to a willing student. A teacher, nobody wants to waste their time. So if you come and you say, oh, I like how you write, oh, and you're willing, because nobody has time, nobody has that time to waste. Because even as they are good, they still want to be better. Even as you think that, oh, okay, this person is way up there, the person is still scaling up to be better. Because you might think you've reached the step of the ladder and there's someone still ahead of you. So if you're willing, you would always see who will teach you. If you're willing, you would always see a platform and a space to learn. It's the same thing about being in a community. A community is not just made up of people who are on the same basis. As we are in Lioness Hub, there are a couple of us who are students, and we have a couple of graduates, married women, women who are in tech, women who are doing well for themselves. And these women are there not to oppress us, in quotes. So sometimes you see pictures on the group chat and then you say, people are oppressing you. Personally, I don't take those things as oppressions. I honestly don't take them as oppressions. I rather see them as motivations, right? There is more. And if there is more, this is someone who is on that path to more. That is what a community does for you. It's not there to make you feel less of yourself. I don't want us to see the communities we belong to as a place where you would feel less of yourself. Because in a community, there will always be people who will have more achievements, and there will be people who would have lesser achievements. So if you're a lesser achiever, in quotes, at the time, you don't look at the people with more achievements as, oh, this person is way better than me, and so I cannot network with this person, or I cannot talk with that person. You're in a community space to learn. You're in a community space to grow. That is what a community is supposed to be. A space where you learn, a space where you grow. And then you cannot say, oh, I just like to be by myself, just take my own things one step at a time. You won't really grow like that. If you want to be beyond amazing, then you need to be in a space with people who are also aiming to be beyond amazing. You want to be spectacular, then roll with the spectacular person. There's this common saying that if you're friends with 6 billionaires, check, you're the 7th person. And so you would see in Proverbs 13, verse 19. Let me quickly read it. Proverbs 13, 19. Oh, sorry. Let me get that there. Sorry, Proverbs 13:20. Proverbs 13:20. Become wise by walking with the wise. Hang out with fools and watch your life fall to pieces. It's clearly stated. You want to be wise, you want to be successful, then roll with the successful people. But then if you want your life to fall to pieces, you might as well just lounge back. You might as well just lounge back and then just watch your life fall apart. But if you know where you're headed, then stay in that space. Look for a community of people. And then you might say, oh, I've not found my own people. I used to have that problem, right? Because in secondary school, I've always been, when people hear Oriako, that's my native name, they would say, Oriako will not come and join us to do contraband. Oriako is not going to. And it's not like I was a church girl per se, but I knew where I was coming from, and I knew I could not afford to do those things that they were doing. So you wouldn't necessarily say that, oh, I was not doing those things because, oh, I was strong in my Christian faith. But I just felt like all these things, they don't really matter. You trying to wear short uniforms to get noticed. It just, for me, it meant that you didn't know who you were. And I would always feel like, I don't really need friends. I don't really need people. After all, I don't think that they're on the same pedestal with me. But then, growing and then getting into the university community, I had to understand that away from this thing, you might feel like, oh, you don't, people that think like you are not around. But keep at it. Keep at it, and then you find your people. When I started meeting people who thought like me, I was like, oh, okay, so we still exist in this generation, especially in a place where so many things have now become the norm. Things that are not supposed to be the norm are now the norm. But just keep at it. You might say, oh, okay, this thing I want to do, I'm not seeing people that are doing it. My dear, keep at it. You will find one person, that person will know the next person, that person will know the next person, and then that's how a community is built. So, whatever field, work, academics, even down to your spiritual life, I cannot overlook the importance of a good spiritual community. I cannot, like I said as I was starting, I am a product of community, even down to my spiritual communities. Because I've had down times and I know that I wouldn't have made it out without the people from my church community. So you cannot say, oh, okay, I'm a career woman, so I don't need to focus on church. If you want to be beyond amazing, you have to be all rounded. One part of your life does not have to suffer because you're focusing on the other part of your life. So as you're holding your academics, hold your God life. As you're holding your God life, hold your work life. As you're holding your work life, hold your business life. And then when you find balance in these things, you would see yourself on the path to be beyond amazing. I would like to end with being beyond amazing is not a destination, it's a journey. To be beyond amazing, it's a continuous thing, it's not a destination. You get here, there is more, you move. You get there, there is more, you move. You get to the next place, there is more, you move. Thank you.